Hello, everyone. Welcome to the City of Healing, where the city resides within. This is Sinette Notorangela, and I hope that everyone is having a beautiful evening this Tuesday evening and taking a stroll, of course, my favorite thing to do. Walk when it's just getting cooler, and I was just doing some speed walking, so I worked up a little sweat, but I'm doing fine. Anyway, I wanted to come forth and talk about miracles. And as we know, life is a miracle. I'm a miracle. You a miracle. And there's miracles that happen every day. And basically, miracles are things unexplained that we don't have basically a scientific rationale we can relate it to. Basically, a simple definition, which can be expounded upon more. But specifically, just talking about miracles, you know, waking up in the morning or even going to bed at night and considering every situation a miracle, it's builds so much gratitude for life. But anyway, I can go on and on about what I feel the definition of a miracle is. And of course, there's been several situations where we try to explain the reasons certain things happen and why they don't happen, etc., etc. And specifically, even just yesterday, I'll just go ahead and share that real quick. Basically, my daughter, my youngest daughter, was at work, and I pick her up at 10. And I specifically, because I only have one set of keys, and I know that's not a good habit, but I keep up with that set of keys, and I specifically, when I have to go somewhere like pick her up or somewhere in the evening, I put it on the table because that's where I was doing some work and some reading. So it comes around 10 o'clock. It's time to pick her up. So I get ready, and then I reach for my keys, and the keys are not there. So I was like, okay. Because I rarely lose things, and specifically my keys, I get frustrated. So I don't do the thing of looking back and tracing my steps and stuff because there are no steps to trace because I know where I put my things. So I say I'm going to look around anyway. So I'm looking around, and then finally my daughter calls and say, Mom, it's time to pick me up. Unfortunately, I do not know where I put the keys. She was like, what? Because that's bizarre for me. So I called my oldest daughter, who just left, and she went to Walmart, and asked her if she seen my keys, as well as to pick up her sister. No, she hadn't seen my keys because basically she just got off work herself and had to do a run. And she would go pick up her sister. So meanwhile, I'm looking around for my keys again, and my son, he just got there, and he's helping me look for the keys, etc., etc. And he's bewildered too because, not that I'm perfect by far, but I don't misplace things, especially keys. So he's looking, he's talking to me, trace your steps, just being very patient with me and be looking for the keys. And so my oldest daughter calls back and said, it's not on the way to get Delaney her way, but there was a big accident. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm going to get to her as soon as I can. So I called Delaney and let her know that her sister's coming to pick her up. Meanwhile, she's waiting, and I'm frustrated because I don't leave her waiting. So I'm still looking for the keys, frustrated. We go outside, and my oldest daughter calls back, and she says, oh, yeah, you sure you don't have your keys? Because as I was leaving, your door unlocked like you were about to leave. I said, no, I didn't do that. I would remember that I did that, of course. And she said, well, your car came on like you were about to get into your car. So just in case, I told my son to go, and the car was unlocked. But there were no keys in there. He looked. So we decided to look outside. Maybe somehow I didn't remember and I dropped the keys, or didn't hear the keys when I went for a walk and it dropped. But he combing the area, had flashlights in his phone, no keys. So I just finally said, just stop. Even though I was frustrated with myself, just stop and think, and just basically ask myself, where are the keys? Are they outside of the house? So I finally came to the conclusion. My intuition said, no, they're in the house. So I moved my son in the house, and finally the girls are home, and they're frustrated and worried because they're like, something's not right. So several things were going through my head. Was I robbed? And then I thought, sometimes when I'm not supposed to go somewhere, or things aren't right, or for my protection or someone else's protection, sometimes things get misplaced. And later on, right away, what I was looking for shows up. That happens sometimes. But I don't know if this is the situation. I didn't know. So the girls get home, and of course they're worried. And my daughter says, I'm going to go back in the back room and look on your bed, see if it's there. And not even 1 minute, all of a sudden I heard, ding-a-ling-a-ling. I was like, I found the keys. I was like, what? And I was like, where were they? She said it was in one of your night bags. I said, I would not put the keys in my night bag. And funny, me and my son's been there, and even my oldest daughter was looking, and then my youngest daughter finds them, just like that. Wow. So many things were going through my head, but mainly just thinking. Sometimes everything, there's always a cause and effect. There's a rationale for it. And like I said, sometimes something moves certain things to prevent certain things. That's just always happening from time to time. Different types of situations and symbolic of things that I shouldn't do, or helpful fairies, some people call them, hide things from me. And I was very frustrated. But anyway, the keys were found just like that. And my daughter was home, safe. Anyway, I'm still a little baffled, but not that much. I shouldn't be shocked or surprised, but somehow I am. But anyway, I can go on and on about different miracles. And because I'm a nurse, definitely a lot of miracles at work, of course. But I'll just speak of one, not to make the video too long. But this situation was a code. This gentleman is already really sick, and we found him unresponsive, so we called the code. And at the moment, we figured he probably had been down for a little while, but we still were responsible for calling the code for whatever reason. So we called the code. We already starting the CPR, doing every measure possible, good CPR. And the code team gets there, and they're probably working on him for a very long time. And they finally decided to call the code. And one of the nurses that I trained, and we talk about it to this day, that she said, one of the things you always told me, Angela, is to always follow your gut feeling and just follow your intuition. And she said something told her to check his pulse. And she checked his pulse, and she said he had a pulse. And then all of a sudden he started moving. So everybody, nurses in there, it's like, oh, he's called the code team back, and doctors and everybody came running back in. And of course, no need for CPR. And we started fluids, and he eventually stabilized, went to the unit overnight, eventually came back to the house. Not to the house, to the floor. And he survived, I know, at least 2 or 3 years. He's no longer, on this planet physically, but he definitely survived that cold mysteriously after it had been called. Anyway, there's situations like that that remind us of the deep reminders and the appreciation, even the small miracles in life, because they're definitely big miracles. Some phenomenal things that happen in everyday life, and in other people's lives. You know, different people have different testimonies about near-death experiences, or coming in the compass with large amounts of money, or meeting certain people, or deja vus. I can go on and on about the different miracles and unexplained happenings that happen and benefit the world and people. It's even a miracle that of all the planets, you know, that we revolve and evolve outside of the universe, inside of the universe, and they don't hit and collide with each other. And the different things that pass by, you know, that we see, that the universe or the earth is not bothered at all. It's a miracle if you're not even really thinking about it, unless you really, really think about it, at least for me, that the earth is constantly spinning and we don't even feel it, you know? So, of course, I do feel it sometimes. I can really feel the earth. Look at my friend. Hello, bye-bye. At least she's not attacking me today. Anyway, just talking about miracles gets me so excited, and I'm full of gratitude about life and being able to just basically share this, my point of view, my simple message as a reminder of appreciation of miracles that happen every day. And I'll share more because there are too many to share right now without making this video too long. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for visiting the city. I'm going to finish this beautiful walk and just enjoy the view. It's a miracle. Take care.